of a game played by friends. Friends gave U.S. everything that they wanted. They would not go away. It allowed for moments like that with Steph Curry. You had to put that team away with shots like that.
And what a moment for Steph in his first Olympics to play the hero in back-to-back games. 8 threes, counts for all 24 of his points. And his legacy, although it was already complete, is officially bookended.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Playbook. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We on the road to 1,000. I know y'all can help me get there. We're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game. All right. This has got to be one of the most annoying topics surrounding the NBA because we know for a fact no matter what they do, no matter what they try, the players simply aren't going to care. All right. Let me put it to you like this. You have to get through 2 more hours of work, and you know for a fact you have 7 days of vacation waiting on you. How would you feel on your real job? All right. So you got to put that into perspective because this is how they're thinking. Yes, we have 7 days to relax, recover, rest, and just enjoy time with the family before we got to get ready for the back end of this season. And a lot of those players are looking towards the playoffs because they got to make a push. We don't know what the seeding is looking like for a lot of players. So, you know, everybody's situation is different. But for the most part, they're looking forward to the 7 days of rest in between. So Adam Silver is going to talk about another way that they can make the players care about it, make a big deal out of the NBA All-Star Weekend. And you know what? This is an idea that's been floated, but I got a pen and a paper here. And after he talks about this, I'm gonna tell you what I have on this pen and the paper. And it ain't looking good. Check this video out real quick.
What about the concept of USA versus the world? Is that something that we will see possibly next year as you continue to try to tinker with the weekend?
Yes. So next year, as part of our new media deals, the All-Star Game returns to NBC, where it was when we were younger. And it so happens that next season
he talked like he in a library.
Winter Olympics. So in fact, the game will be on NBC, and the very day we're on, the lead-in will be Winter Olympic events, and then coming out of the All-Star Game, which is now going to be in the afternoon instead of the evening, there'll be more Olympic events. So what better time to feature some form of USA against the world? I'm not exactly sure what the format will be yet. I mean, obviously paid a lot of attention to what the NHL did with the
which was a huge success.
Which was a huge success.
The Frozen Four.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was great.
But also, going back, last summer, our Olympic competition was a huge success. I mean, those games, USA, Serbia, USA,
I love
France.
watching it.
And by the way, to
I'm
your
obsessed
point
with it.
about the European style,
Yeah.
I mean, a more physical style of basketball, a 40-minute game, which I
is
won't
why we
reference
didn't
again.
blow it. You love the 40-minute game.
I just said it happened to be a 40-minute game in the Olympics,
Keep 12-minute quarters.
but yeah, we're not changing it. But it was, but I think that's another example.
A number of problems with this idea because yes, it's been floated around quite a bit. Team USA versus the world. I made a video on it. Hindsight is always 20/20, right? I'm not a fan of this idea. Specifically, problem number 1. All right, when you look at the league that we are currently in, okay, you're talking about European players, majority of whom are in the prime of their careers, majority of whom have MVPs, winning several championships as of late. SGA's in the NBA Finals right now, albeit down 0-1. That could change very quickly. But if you look at the landscape, it's not a good idea because, again, all of the players had an issue with effort and caring in the All-Star Game. It wasn't just the American players. It wasn't just the European players. It was the collective. And you know what? I've never seen Nikola Jokic give any sort of effort in an All-Star game. The only one is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he averages like 25 plus in the All-Star game. He wants MVP, and he also wants to play hard. Nobody else is going to play that way unless you have Giannis Antetokounmpo on one side and Russell Westbrook on the other side and let them play ones, basically, because those are the only 2 players that are going to play the exact same way, game to game to all-star game, when you want that type of energy and effort from the players. Other than that, you're not going to get it. Problem number 2 is the NBA players are aging and they're dealing with a whole bunch of injuries. LeBron, he old. Steph, he's old. KD, he's old. AD, always injured. Embiid, always injured. Tatum, currently out with an injury, albeit, you could probably make a substitute for him. If you look down that list, that is currently the issue. The only one that's really, young out of everybody is, Anthony Edwards. You have Bam Adebayo. Jaylen Brown is kind of young. So when you look at the landscape, when you want to go star for star, right? Team USA versus, Team World, you got to also factor in the age, because you're going to tell a 40-year-old you're going to have to play your hardest as if this is Team USA versus France. You're going to have to give that type of effort to beat Team World. And you're about to go on a vacation for 7 days and you have to come back and get ready to be on a run for a championship. That's not going to fly. That is literally not going to fly. Problem number 2. I told you I wrote some things down. I wrote a potential team down for Team USA. All right. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Embiid, who knows when he's coming back, so he's going to need a swap. Jason Tatum, also out with an injury. He's going to need a swap. So you probably swap him out for Booker. You probably add in Donovan Mitchell. You have Halliburton, Holiday, Ant-Man. Derek White could be there, could not be, but he was also, 2024 Team USA member. So he's probably going to be on that roster if he's playing well enough to make the All-Star team. But that's the other problem. How do you just pick 12 and 12? Are you only picking 12 Americans and 12, European players? That's how you're making the rosters. What if there happens to be 18 American players that meet the qualifications to be All-Stars, right? So now you have to add in the factor of the voting and how we pick the teams and that stuff. The other factor is, let's just say everybody's going to give maximum effort. Everybody is going to play their hardest in this game. You're saying that you want to go up against Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, SGA, Wemby, Murray, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, Siakam, Bogey, Wagner, Dort, and Brooks, and everybody's playing at their best. That's the team you want to go against. Middle of the season. And you got to get ready for the back end of the season, heading into the playoffs. You want to put yourself in that situation. Team USA is going to get mollywopped. And I don't even know if it's cool to say mollywopped anymore. It's just the only way I can describe what would happen in this game. It would be a disaster, because I guarantee you LeBron he's going to be 41 at that point. He's not going to play majority of the minutes. Steph Curry going to be 37, 38 at that point. Not going to play a lot of minutes. KD, same thing. Anthony Davis, we know that boy is made. He's not made of glass. I'm going to be nice. He just struggled with some injuries sometimes. He's not going to play a lot of those minutes. Embiid, probably not going to be there. We know, Tatum's going to need a sub, so probably Booker will add in Mitchell and all these other players. They just don't have enough to match up with the world in that aspect, in the competitive aspect, with all of them on one team. Sure, you can go to, the Olympics and win, Team USA versus France, Team USA versus, Slovenia, Team USA versus Germany or Spain, but it's not going to be a good look if this is the route you want to go and you're consistently saying this is America's game. Because America's game in our league, you're going to give over the idea that the world has taken over. We already know SGA's got an MVP. Nikola Jokic has 3 of them. Giannis has 2 of them. Embiid has 1, albeit he played for Team USA, but he's not technically he's an American citizen, but he's not American born. So you still got to factor that in. Everybody is under the mindset that this is the world's game and not our game anymore. You're playing right into the trap. So this is dangerous territory for Adam Silver. I don't know what you do with the All-Star game. I don't know what you do with All-Star weekend. Quite frankly, I watch every single event, and I can't tell the difference from the celebrity game and the actual All-Star game that weekend. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And one of the biggest ones is, how do you actually make the players care? Because I can guarantee you, this is not going to bother them at all if they're not playing for a gold medal. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, get me to 1K. Get me to 1K. That's the goal right now. Subscribe to the channel. That's one more for the good guys.